Palm Springs, California, where officials from the US and China are meeting for talks ahead of the UN Climate Change Conference, or COP28, at the end of the month.
I do hope that China and the United States.
US climate envoy John Kerry will cover a range of topics with his Chinese counterpart Xie Shenhua, but top of the agenda will be the two countries' collaboration on tackling the global climate crisis. Seeking to build on the accord between US President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping during the 2022 COP27 climate conference, the location of these talks is no coincidence. Situated in the arid interior of California, Palm Springs has been heavily impacted by climate change. This region is experiencing higher temperatures, prolonged drought, and more extreme weather. However, it's also the site of America's oldest wind farm, where 2,700 turbines have supplied power to Southern California since the 1980s. Ahead of the COP28 climate talks, the result of these bilateral talks in Palm Springs will cast a long shadow over a vital United Nations conference.
The US and China set up.
Rajan Vig is a leading voice on North America's energy trading market.
How relevant is it? Well, it's incredibly relevant in the sense that if you think about China pushing forth with clean energy investments, I think in last year they spent $546 billion taking into consideration manufacturing and deploying renewable energy assets. The US and China working together in unison to address climate change in countries that don't have the ability to spend as much as US and China do.
However, while the world's two largest economies collaborate on the issue, they remain the world's two largest carbon emitters. And for former Mexican ambassador to the UN, Pedro Díaz de la Vega, these talks are vital in light of the recent climate disaster in Acapulco.
For me, this is a symbol of hope, that two countries that may have differences in other areas can sit down to discuss this topic of global implications. Mexico has just suffered an enormous catastrophe caused by global climate change, and the entire world is looking to see what decisions will be made at COP28.
As officials from both countries discuss their joint approach to climate change, the world as a whole will be listening. Alasdair, Baverstock, CGTN, Palm Springs, California.